Welcome to Talking Giants player profiles and projections presented by John Boy Media. I'm your host, Bobby Skinner, here with my co-host, Justin Pennick. Justin, today's episode, we got an offensive player, defensive player as usual, but not as usual. Both these guys are former Cleveland Browns. Fun fact there for you. I like to do fun facts for these episodes, so there's a fun fact for you.
There you go. That's your fun fact. Both of these guys are also former first-round picks from the Cleveland Browns, which I'm sure some fans, if you're a more casual fan, you didn't know that this Corey Coleman guy, who he may be our fourth or fifth wide receiver on the depth chart this year, he's a former first-round pick, and it's not even like he was taken in 2010. He was taken in 2016, which is still crazy. He's technically still in his rookie contract years. Bobby, I guess just to get right into Corey Coleman, the big macro observation that I have about Corey Coleman, he tore his ACL last year. I'm sure maybe you're going to get into some of his stats. He doesn't have that many stats. But Corey Coleman, if he did not tear his ACL and if he did not have that season-ending injury last year, he had the year that Darius Slayton has, and he's taking the Giants by storm by being the number 3 wide receiver, by being the deep threat. That was his expectation, and that was the kind of expectation that Pat Shurmur coaching staff had.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. The stats. He was a former first round pick, and for kind of good reason. I mean, he had 20 touchdown catches at Baylor. And I get Baylor runs a high flying offense, but so does every offense in college football nowadays, especially the Big 12. He had 73 catches, like 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns. Impressed at the combine, 4.4, 240, 40.5-inch vertical jump. So, and like his first game with the Browns, he kind of impressed, and then it was just kind of downhill from there. I mean, and his rookie year, he had 33 catches, 413 yards, 3 touchdowns. His second year, 23 catches, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns. He missed 13 games in both those seasons. So, but the bad number is 45.2% catch percentage his rookie year, 39.7 his second year. Now, he made an appearance on Hard Knocks when he complained that he wasn't starting. They traded him to the Bills. Things don't work out with the Bills. The Bills cut him. The Patriots bring him in for a cup of coffee. And then the Giants finally bring him in to play some special teams. They let him play a little wide receiver. He had 5 catches, 71 yards for us, and not much playing time. But showed some of that rookie promise that he had, that speed, that ability to go up and make some contested catches. Justin, like you said, he was slated to be the number 3 wide receiver. It was between him and Cody Latimer. And myself, like most fans, probably would have picked Corey Coleman. I mean, I was picking Corey Coleman to be that guy. And Darius Slayton was the guy going into last year hey, give him 10 reps a game to go stretch the field, make some plays. And then if he proves it, he proves it. So I do think Slayton probably eventually would have overtaken Coleman. Because, I mean, he overtook Latimer pretty quickly. But, I mean, Coleman, while there's not a ton to go off, the expectations were high, and then the ACL tears, and we're looking at wide receivers. I don't know what to expect from him this year, but I think I'm slating him at wide receiver 4 at this point.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you, and going back to that expectation point, or how there wasn't any expectation, but the coaching staff was certainly putting an expectation on him before he suffered that injury. And there are a few players every summer. I feel Evan Ingram is a guy this summer that Joe Judge and this coaching staff, they're putting an expectation on him, with some of Joe Judge's quotes that we've heard, oh, I enjoy watching you practice every day, so don't disappoint us. I feel like there's a couple guys every summer that a coaching staff will hype up, whether that's intentionally or whether that's the social media team that just puts out videos. But Corey Coleman was that guy last summer. He's been quiet. I don't really know if we have full confirmation on where he's been lining up and who he's been lining up with. That's intentional because that's Joe Judge. But Bobby, the year in 2018, I think the game that gives you the most promise, which, by the way, there was only 4 games in 2018 where he had a catch, and the game that he had the most catches in was 2. And it was against Washington in 2018. He caught some deep balls down the sideline. So those are the plays that get you most excited about what Coleman can do. So I'm with you. I don't really know what to expect, because also as a fan, I look at Coleman, it's I don't really have that much expectations for you, especially when you're coming off that ACL. I'll say it again. The fantasy data shows you need 2 years removed from an ACL injury to where you are at your peak physical condition and peak physical form. So excited for Corey Coleman in 2021. But hey, if he does anything great and spectacular, that'll surprise me, and I'm rooting for that. But if he doesn't, won't be surprised.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's looked good in clips and things like that. The issue though is that we don't have expectations. Well, who are the other wide receivers after the big three? It's Corey Coleman, David Sills, who's been emerging a little bit, and then those undrafted free agents of Austin Mack, Benjamin Victor, Derek Dillon, and really none of those guys has separated themselves. I guess Alex Bachman and
Sills
and Sills are the ones that have been like popping out from what the media has said. So while we may put a ton in those scrimmages, you know what? That's just another practice for them. So someone may have their best game in one of those scrimmages, but they've been like the fifth guy all through all the other practices. So I mean, definitely going to be fun for us to formulate takes, but it's a wide open room, and I don't think anyone had like a leg up over each other in this for this wide receiver 4 and 5 spots.
Yeah, in a way, would you say that wide receiver 4 and 5, where, I guess it's not that glorious to talk about in terms of depth chart, but I think if I wanted to be at camp, the camp battle that would be most fun to watch because of the talent that you feel is there, I honestly do feel it would be wide receiver in 4 and 5. I did like an Instagram Q&A today, and I think somebody did ask, what is the camp battle that you're most looking forward to watch? Well, first of all, we can't really see anything. But second of all, I think wide receiver 4 and 5. That's very exciting because of the talent that is there with all those guys that you listed.
Wide receiver is always the most fun position to watch in the preseason. That's where guys make plays. So yeah, I would slate Coleman as wide receiver 4 as of now. And that's just a lot because we haven't got to see much at camps. But maybe Sills or somebody will overtake him. So, like I said, 26 years old, 5'11", 4'4", 240, 40.5-inch vertical jump, unreal college production. You know what? Like, I get that the whole idea of like not giving up on a first rounder, it's like it's like kind of a funny joke. It's like if a guy's been drafted in the first round, people just never give up on him. But you know what? I kind of get it. A guy has 74 catches, 1,300 yards, 20 touchdowns, 18 yards per catch, and then blows away the combine. That continues to like give me hope, especially when he has some kick returner ability too.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, we forgot about that. That's good pickup right there. We're thinking Corey Coleman could be a guy that's returning kicks and/or punts. Javon Leak is also another candidate in there too. And then there's nobody that really comes to mind. Dion Lewis, maybe, sure. So in kick returns and punt returns, going to be interested to see who can fill that role. And if Coleman, if they feel comfortable enough throwing him out there, like we said, coming off that ACL injury.
All right, let's take a break and move on to Jabril Peppers.